What's up, everybody? This is Bems.
And this is Ace. And this is Serving Up the Tea. And we are back in person, baby!
Yeah, back on road. The remote recordings were getting a bit tedious.
Yeah, I mean, technology was on our side for the most part because, as one would have it, we're in 2024. So we had all these fancy things. Thanks to our production team for holding it down.
Whoop, whoop.
When we were on the road, but being back in person is really good.
That's the
so what's tea?
Tea for me this week is piping hot. Okay, so as you know, there are some tennis love stories on tour. We have Badosa Tsitsipas, we have Bolter Daminar, we have Mahak Siniakova, Monfils Svitvolina, and we have Anastasia Potapova and Alexander Shevchenko.
Spicy.
Or do we? So, a bit of backstory here.
Yeah, I need it because I have no idea what's going on with the two.
Okay, so they got married last year in December.
Okay.
After like less than a year of dating, I think, because
when you know, you know.
At the 2023 Roland Garros, they said that they had been dating for 6 months. Roland Garros is what, like May, June? So they probably started dating at the beginning of the year. They're also only 22 years old, by the way. Yeah, got married. They seem to be doing well together. They both reached their career highs while they were together. I think Potapova got to 21. Shevchenko got to 45. And Potapova in an interview said, maybe we're too young to be married, but we're also athletes and we're more mature than other people are at this age, people who don't do sports. After 10 months of being married, Anastasia has changed her Instagram display name back to her original name. She has taken all their pictures down.
Ooh.
And they have unfollowed each other.
And all this happened in the past week.
Yeah.
So she was Anastasia Shevchenko for a bit. Now she's back to Potapova. Wow, that's unfortunate. Do we know why the relationship seems to be on the rocks?
It's largely unclear. Neither of them have spoken with media or given any sort of statement. But I think the name change is a statement enough.
Yeah, I mean, name dropped.
Yeah.
Potapova's the one who's like very spicy, right? She always has a little spice to her on court.
Yeah, I'd say that, yeah.
Personality.
And Shevchenko is the one that used to have that horrible bowl cut that I like really struggled to watch him play.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's tea for me.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I wish them both well. I think definitely shouldn't get married before your frontal lobe develops. So that maybe would have been something that they should have looked out for. Especially after a year of dating.
I'm trying to think what she meant by as athletes, they're more mature than people who aren't athletes. I feel like that's like a misconception. Not that I would know because I'm not an athlete, but I have heard other athletes have this opinion before. And I feel like pro athletes do have to deal with certain things that a regular 22-year-old wouldn't have to deal with. But they also miss out a lot on life. So sometimes it doesn't always add up.
She said that, like, in their case specifically, it was nice to have somebody who understood, like, the demands of the tennis tour and yada, yada, yada. So they got along well in that regard. And that since they got married, their relationship was very calm and they have each other and they're not rushing for anything, but they help each other perform their best, which is true. As I mentioned, they both reached their career highs during their relationship. But now it's at a low because they broke up, it seems. Also, maybe they're just having like one of those very extreme fights, like Cardi B and Offset.
Yeah, I mean, who just had a baby together?
Yeah.
So you never know. Let's wait and see what's gonna happen between these two.
But yeah, what's tea for you?
Keep an eye on it. Tea for me is that Laver Cup is that girl.
Yeah, it's so fun.
So incredibly fun, and I'm just like, shout out to Federer for being the founder of this amazing tournament.
So good.
I think what it's done for the players is it's brought them back to life. And I honestly don't even know what's going on the women's tour. Like, sorry to the ladies. This is a first for me because I'm a WTA girly. but Laver Cup has had me
Consumed
in a chokehold.
Yeah. No, it's
for the
really
past
fun.
week and a half.
The content is so fun. The bench cam,
bro,
is fantastic. The bench cam is so fun. Like
the way
them.
they just get to like celebrate on the
Team
bench.
World was really fun.
Team World was lit.
They're really fun.
Team Europe was also lit in a different way.
Yeah. It took them a while to get lit though. Like, I think on day one they were very, very calm.
Demure, keeping it cutesy.
But Team World from the get-go with Fritz, Tiafo, and Shelton together.
That trio.
Kakanakis as well was getting.
And then Kakanakis is like a bro. I think he's definitely, in terms of like the buildup of Team World, personality higher.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Vibes.
But I think he was actually on the inaugural Team World team.
Yeah. He's been doing Laver Cup. He's done it quite a few times, if I remember correctly. I've seen him on the team. But just in terms of how they're trying to like standardize like who gets picked, it definitely wasn't based off of ranking or who's doing the best in his case. He was the other captain's pick, which how it works for the Laver Cup is that you have 3 spots that are like the 3 highest ranked men on each team. Like obviously Team Europe has to be from Europe, Team World everywhere else. And the other 3 are like the captain's picks. They can pick from anywhere in the draw. So yeah, we thank God because I feel like that injection of energy and vibes is what the men were needing. A lot of them were complaining about being burnt out or mentally tired or fatigued. And this is just like the way the players talk about this tournament is that it's the time when they can play great tennis and just be free on the court. And that's what we saw. So great. That's tea for me.
I really, really, really enjoyed the Laver Cup, and I really, really enjoyed seeing Carlos back to his like free, happy self. He won, so you need 13 points to win. Mm-hmm. He won 8 of the 13 points.
He put on for Team Europe.
He was the definition of MVP.
He carried Europe on his back.
He carried Casper specifically as well in their
doubles pairing. Yeah.
Did you see Casper Tsitsipas versus was it Shelton Tiafo?
I don't think it was Shelton Tiafo. It was the first pairing.
No. The first pairing was Carlos Zverev versus Shelton and Fritz. That was day 1. I think day 2 was Shelton Tiafo. Oh no, Shelton Tiafo was versus Carlos and Casper. It was Tabilo Shelton versus Tsitsipas and Rude, and that was just really sad to watch. Tsitsipas and Rude were very bad. They were very, very bad. The performance was very poor.
So scoreline 6-1, 6-2 in favor of Shelton Tabilo.
And Casper said he was really embarrassed. He was very dejected. I mean, you could see it on his face. And then he said he didn't know why Alcaraz wanted to play doubles with him. He said he was surprised that Carlos still wanted to play with him. And then it was like a huge upset. They beat Tiafo Shelton, which they really shouldn't have. And it was fantastic to watch. I think the actual MVP of the Laver Cup, though, was Dimitrov. First of all, he's so hot.
So hot.
No, Dimitrov is so hot.
But I feel like he was playing the role of like captain.
It was very daddy coded.
Yeah. He was like, I'm the veteran here.
And I don't know if him and Carlos have spent much time together, but they were like in love with each other. It was so cute.
Chemistry was.
Yeah. It was also Federer's first time seeing Carlos play live. And he finally got to apologize to him for snubbing him at Wimbledon and not practicing with him when he was like a young player.
When he was a junior. Yeah. Not a junior, but he was a younger player on tour. And
I don't even think he was on. I don't know if he was on tour yet. I think Carlos was like 14 years old, 14 or 13. I think he was really young.
Yeah.
And he was hitting with Juan Carlos. Federer hit with him the first day. The next day, they were like, "Do you want to hit with the coach?" And he was like, "Nah, he wants to hit with
the coach."
Hit with the coach, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good. I was really upset though because it had me rooting for Zverev because I wanted to see Carlos play. Because the way it works, if Team World had won that match, Carlos's match wouldn't have been necessary. So it was very critical for Zverev to win.
Zverev put Team Europe back
in contention.
Yeah. Because otherwise
they would have been out.
Yeah. Team World would have had it there, but
I was so upset that I was rooting for him. Like, he made me so angry.
This is what I was gonna say, is that with this team format, and I know Zverev is number 2 in the world on the like official rankings.
And he's German and it was in Berlin.
We're not really a fan of his for multiple reasons, but clearly on the men's side, they've just moved on from whatever has happened, and he's just back in the game
I think
fully.
it's like that bro thing where it's like, oh, it wasn't proven. We don't know for sure. No. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he's very much front and center.
Men, and everybody was very cool with him. Carlos was very cool with him. Nobody was like, even him and Medvedev, who historically don't like each other, quite chummy.
They got along.
Yeah, Medvedev and Tsitsipas as well.
Yeah.
They were like flirting. I was like, what? The cutest was Kaboli, though.
I didn't see him much.
Really? He was like the team pet almost. It was very cute. Like he was like very much just happy to be their vibe. At the end, he gave like a speech, like he came there to learn, and he definitely got to learn from everyone. He's really happy about it. At a point, he told Carlos, when Carlos was playing his singles match, he said, "You're the best player in the world. You have to know this." It was so cute.
No, the things that they were saying
it was
to each
so
other.
cute. But I also thought it was interesting because it's like these are also your competitors on the tour. So aren't you giving them like insight into like how you think?
How you play and how you think.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, in such a short span of time, it's not like any of this stuff is gonna like really stick. And if so, it's like all in good faith, right? The way you said Carlos carried Team Europe, Shelton also carried Team World.
He was working.
He was working his ass off. And they said it's because, 2 years ago, he was on the college tour, which has a similar format to this in terms of like how often they play, as well as like the 2 sets and then third set is a tie break. So it just felt like he was the best person to do the doubles and the singles back to back.
Him, Fritz, and Tiafoe, their Americanness jumped out. Like, it jumped out. I was like, these are bros.
It was kind of a Team America versus Team Europe.
Yeah. Tabilo is Canadian. Did you know that? Like, he's Chilean.
I had no idea.
But he like grew up because he was talking and I was like, this man sounds like Lawrence.
Our producer is from Canada.
Canadian. And I was like, is that Lawrence? I thought he was from Chile. And I looked it up and he like grew up in Toronto.
Oh.
Did I say that right? Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto.
No, Toronto.
I'm like a Caribbean Torontonian.
Oh, Lord, help me. But anyway, what's T is that Laver Cup is really good. Some people hate on it. They're like, it's a glorified exhibition match, But the players take it quite seriously.
That's the thing. I'm not sure that they do, but I don't mind because they're still playing great tennis, and I feel like that's
no. They take it seriously enough.
But
it's like less serious. It's serious enough that they're playing at a good level, but unserious enough that they're playing quite freely and like going for like trick shots and stuff. Carlos was hitting some crazy Carlos Alcaraz is so good. He's so ridiculous. He's so good at tennis. Like I was like watching Federer watch him, and Federer was just like, what sort of human is this? Like,
no, because
very, very good at tennis. He's very good at tennis, and he's very fun to watch. Did you see Medvedev with that racket throw?
Yes,
that was really inappropriate.
The front row.
I didn't realize that the rule was if it doesn't hit a person, then you're fine. You just get unsportsmanlike conduct. But if it hits a person, then it's automatic default. Yeah. Did you see Tiafoe like on the sidelines trying to like appeal to the referees? Like,
yeah, they were trying to get him out of there.
No, Tiafoe was going from referee to referee. Like, how's he still? It was so funny. He was on a full campaign on the sidelines. I was like, is this guy kidding me?
Yeah, the lines were drawn.
There was also a very sticky moment where during the doubles match, I think Tsitsipas got frustrated and like launched the ball like inches from Shelton's head, and you could tell Ben got pissed. Like Ben was really, really angry. It like changed the dynamic of the game. I think Tsitsipas was just like very frustrated, obviously, but it like really wasn't cool.
It made it sour
at all. Yeah, it was very sour.
And Shelton can handle somebody with his serve.
Yeah. It's lethal.
Crazy.
But yeah, I've actually never seen Casper that happy before. It was actually a little weird to see him that happy and that like charged up. Even that like there was a shot of him going, yeah. And it was weird. I was like, what are you doing?
I think just the fact that not only does this tournament not count for like official points on the ATP tour, right? So that's one thing that reduces the pressure.
But it counts in your head to head.
Oh, really?
So, Medvedev and Tiafoe's head-to-head was love 5.
Now it's love 6.
Tiafoe beat Medvedev. It was crazy. He did so well.
But wait, what I was going to say is that another way in which it like reduces the pressure on players is that it takes tennis from being super individual and like you're just playing for yourself to like, okay, I have to hype up my team,
Yeah.
and my energy affects them, and then them winning affects me, and now it's like a whole team sport, which
Yeah.
is unusual
Symbiotic
for them
relationship.
to play under those conditions.
They are like the team is like on the sidelines, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, and then you have to watch your teammates play.
It's not like that. I don't think at the Davis Cup.
I love the setup here.
No, Laver Cup is fantastic. I want
They
to
have
go.
this little players' lounge where they sit on couches.
They said Carlos was in there snacking. They said that boy could eat. And it's so funny because last year at the ATV finals, they did like a who's the most quiz thing, and they were like, who eats the most, and literally unanimously everybody said Carlos. I think that boy eats a lot.
He's a growing boy.
No, I think
he's a growing boy.
But yeah, I really want to go to the Laver Cup next year, or in a year to come.
Where is it gonna be?
It's in San Francisco next year.
What? Sorry, didn't mean to scream in your ears. But that's so close to home. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Late September.
Yeah. I think we can make it work.
Because yes.
I think we can make it work. Yeah. So anyway, Ace.
What's up, you wait?
Okay. Any match point musings for you this week?
Match point musings. So, I mean, as a Ostapenko fan, you know, it's been a hard 2 weeks because she did okay at the U.S. Open, then she went straight on to playing Guadalajara in Mexico and just like crashed out. Mm-hmm. She was the number 1 seed, and I just like, we expect this from her, but it's always like really disappointing when it happens, just to see like her throw it all away. So that was disappointing, but really on the women's side, not many things have been making me especially happy these past few weeks. I feel like everyone's kind of just scrambling for the last few points on the tour to see if they can like make it into the WTA finals. I mean, the Asian swing has 2 big 1000s coming up.
Wuhan and Beijing.
Wuhan and Beijing. Beijing first, then Wuhan second. So for me, it's not really been great on the women's side.
I was a bit disappointed with Korea, which is for the
Seoul.
Seoul, the Korea Open. Mm-hmm. This was its first year as a 500 level. It just got upgraded. And all the top 10 players withdrew. Which
opened the door for Beatriz Haddad-Maia to take home a 500 level title. I mean, she's been playing well, but I definitely think she had like an easier draw because of...
That final was really boring. Her and Kazatkina. It was... I don't have a musing about it because it was so
That's
boring.
what I'm telling you. On the women's side, it's
really
been
boring.
crickets.
Although Rebecca Shramkova, who just won in Thailand, which is a WTA 250.
250, yeah.
She had gotten to the final the week before in Tunisia, Monastir. Yeah. Before that, she had never gotten past the quarterfinal before. But she lost there to that girl who went on a run at Wimbledon. What's her name?
Laura Sigmund?
No, in Monastir. She lost to Sonny Cartal. Do you remember her? She was like a qualifier that came. A British player.
She's from... British?
Sonny Cartal. Isn't she? Sanjay Cartal. Am I tripping?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she's British. Sonny Cartal. Coco ended up beating her, but she had like an interesting couple of wins at Wimbledon. But anyway, Shramkova won in Thailand, which was yesterday, Sunday, and had to play qualifying in Beijing today. She won. But if you look at like her most recent matches, she's played 11 matches in 13 days in 3 different countries.
Wild.
Yeah.
The girls are scrambling for the points. Scrambling.
I think because there's been a lot of withdrawals. I think Rybakina withdrew from the next 2 tournaments.
She has a back injury.
Yeah, Raducanu has the foot injury that had her retire against Kazatkina in Korea, even though it was crazy because she was doing so well.
She was.
She played so well against Yuan. Did you see that match?
Yes, I did. And we clowned her because she was like, oh, she does well on the Asian swing. And we were like, but it's never happened before. And then clearly she's
actually ridiculous. She said her mom is Chinese and she thrives in Asia. That's what she said.
And then people are like, when?
They asked Marta Kostyuk, like, what made you fit Seoul into your like season this year? She said, skincare. I said, not the tennis Barbie. Not the tennis Barbie.
I love this girl. Like,
not the tennis Barbie.
I love this girl because
she went to Germany for the Porsche.
She just went
has
to vibe.
For the Porsche.
She's trying to finesse this tennis thing.
She said she has too many masks. She doesn't even know what to do with them.
I love that for her.
She's
said
so
Korean
funny.
Skincare is why I'm here. She played exciting. I find like of the matches that I have watched on the women's side, Marta's, I'm always entertained. She's
Yeah.
always entertaining to watch because she's
Yeah.
struggling, fighting.
And she's dressed fantastically because she's a Wilson
beautifully.
athlete.
She
Yeah.
had on the neon green. I was
so
like, yes.
good. Did you see the picture of Alicia Parks practicing in Beijing today?
Ballerina.
Fantastic.
Body tea, skin tea, dress tea.
Fantastic. I need her to
I just need
well.
the coaching to
come together.
hop on in and change the
we'll
game
slide
for
into
her.
the players box and get into that. What did you think of Laura Siegman making her first final since 2023, I think? July 2023. It's been a minute.
So this is her 5th career final at the age of 36.
She don't want to retire?
I think she should, but I mean, who am I?
We're actually so unfair because we were literally just bigging up Sarah Irani last week for being the.
It's definitely
it's a different vibe
one is
though.
for one, it's not for the other. Okay,
the fingers on the hand are not the same way.
No.
Yeah, no.
Laura Siegman, I don't know. For some reason, she just rubs me the wrong way. The way she behaves, it's not very sportswoman like.
Yeah, she has
when it comes to like
vibe.
Morals and stuff.
She has an icky vibe.
But she can play some tennis because
can.
clearly
She can.
be making it far in these tournaments.
Yeah.
Glad that she's able to make a living off of this thing.
Oh my God, Guadalajara. Did you know that Gadecki came through qualifying and got to the final without a coach?
Yeah, I mean, this last part of the year is just fucking.
She didn't have a coach with her, and she
whole
took out
thing
Rollins in round 1, which means that Rollins will likely not make it to the W. She won't qualify for the WTA.
Collins?
What did I say?
Rollins.
Wow.
Rollins.
No.
So Collins, yes,
I think she's
taken out
she's
by
not gonna.
Gadecki.
Yeah, she's round
I
1.
think she's on the edge of making it to the finals.
She's
but
not
I don't
going
think she's
to.
gonna make it because she also doesn't plan to play anymore.
She's like, I don't think she's. So
that might be it for our girl Collins.
Yeah.
She started off so strong, but this is what I find happens on the tour. They start off really strong because it's so stacked that by the end of the year,
and now that the WTA 500s are mandatory and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot happening. So by the end of the year, you have a whole different batch of tennis players succeeding than you did at the beginning. But I'm not sure if that actually means that these are the better players. I'm not sure.
But Magdalena Freck, who won in Guadalajara, is the 9th first-time singles winner on the WTA tour this season. So there has been some like variety
and variety on the women's
been some
side.
variety on the women's side. But on the men's side, your shorts aficionado, Holger Rune, who was the number 1 seed at the Hangzhou Open, lost in round 2 to World 160. I think he needs to take some time away.
Didn't he say he was going to do that?
He didn't. So, yeah.
I remember him. No, he addressed us after the U.S. Open because he behaved poorly. He performed
poorly.
He performed so poorly that he felt the need to address his fans and tell us what was going on. I love the kid. He's so cute.
And I was also keeping an eye on... Sorry, you were about to say something. I cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, but he needs to pull it together.
He does need to pull it together, for sure. Giovanni Pericard served 22... Petchi Pericard. Yes. Served 22 aces and still lost against Hamperman.
Well, you got to get the game up.
Yeah. Which is what I was saying about Riley Opelka that time, is that, like...
Yes.
Being a serve bot doesn't help if the other areas of your game are, like, weak.
Yeah, I mean, Riley Opelka... Yeah, everyone's waiting for him to make a comeback, but I
don't think it's going to happen.
How the men's side has developed, a lot of the players have deepened their game.
Mm-hmm. And there's so much variety now because of Carlos.
Because he came out drop shotting, slicing, topspin forehand, flat forehand, flat backhand, topspin backhand, like everything in the book. He's slipping, he's sliding, he's running.
He's love watching him play. So did you realize that the Laver Cup hard court was a slow hard court?
On purpose?
Because it was wood and then like the gritty paint on top. It wasn't a fast court at all. One of the commentators was saying that they feel like that suits Carlos's game the best, a slow hard court. Which is why he struggles so much in Australia, because the Australian courts are so fast. Yeah.
Down under.
But we'll see.
We shall see.
I want to step into the players box with you, unless you have another match point musing.
I just have one more thing to say about this Laver Cup. Okay. So apparently they're calling, I just love how branded it is. And they're calling like that third set tie break the Laver breaker.
I love that.
I thought you would.
I love that.
Did you see I put it on notes? So it's like the Laver breaker, what they're calling the third set tie breaks at the Laver Cup.
That's fantastic.
I thought that was so
I didn't
cute.
know that. But to be honest, most of the time I was watching on mute. I had like a lot of stuff going on, but I just had to watch it. Honestly, like at church on Sunday, I missed Carlos and Casper versus Shelton Tiafo.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was really telling God, like, you see, I love you, because I want to pull my phone out right now and watch this match. Like, I was like, ran out of the sanctuary. Like,
but the Laver breakers were so fun.
Yeah. I like the format. I really like the format.
I love the format.
Yeah. And all the fans say it's a fantastic fan experience. Everyone says it is like, it's really, really good. Francisco. Yeah, I think we need to go. So
we need to be there in San Francisco.
I think so.
So let's hop into the players' box because
it's a lot of moving and grooving in there.
It's a lot of moving, shaking.
So
coming and going.
As we know, Yannick Sinner, world number 1 on the ATP side, most recent champion of the US Open, also most recent cleared doper.
He just came out of a doping scandal. He came out of it clean.
He did, but
he had to shuffle the box.
He had to shuffle the box because his reason for coming up dirty was that his trainer at the time massaged him without gloves while using a topical spray on his own finger. Like the trainer used the topical spray on the trainer's finger to treat a cut and then massaged Yannick without gloves, transferring the substance to Yannick. And that is why Yannick tested positive in trace amounts for the banned substance.
So now, this whole thing gives me the ick because I'm just like imagining like open cut, spray, massage, transfer. Ew. But the coach had to go.
The trainer, yes. Yannick then said that he wasn't comfortable working with the trainer anymore. He kept Darren Cahill, but let go of the two of them, and has now hired Marco Panici, Djokovic's old trainer that departed his team earlier this year.
Departed, but I mean, Djokovic fired the whole box.
I think that's very interesting because Panici is Italian, Yannick is Italian. It's almost like too good to be true. It's very serendipitous.
Seems like it would be a good match.
Yeah, I mean, they're already working together, so interested to see how that comes together. What other player moves are you seeing in the box?
I mean,
go ahead, say
Coach Zaddy he's caused a split between women. Well, I'm not sure that he's caused a split.
No, I think, listen.
But he has a way about him that he might have.
I told you earlier this season that Osaka and Wimfizet give me the vibe of two dumb girls saying yes back and forth.
Two dumb bitches saying exactly.
I told you this because it very much gave comfort zone. It very much gave, we've won Grand Slams together, but she's not that player anymore. Pregnancy changes your body. It changes you. She said that she could barely walk after she gave birth. She's given interviews and told us that she doesn't want a lot of kids because of how traumatic her birth experience was. Yeah. Mind you, already her footwork was not bad. I mean, was not good. Already her footwork was terrible. This is somebody who couldn't walk for a bit. You think the footwork is going to be better?
And I also think the emotional intelligence required to get a player through this particular phase on the women's side is something that Patrick has direct experience with.
You think so?
There's something about Patrick Murtugu that gives the vibe that he has an emotional intelligence and a way to relate to certain players that helps them in very specific moments.
I think what you're picking up on is that he's a womanizer. So what I was going to say, though, is that... is that
sometimes you need that energy to make it work.
I don't think Naomi needs that. But it's funny because, you know, Wim Fissette was with Quinn Wenjung and left her unceremoniously. Yes. As soon as Naomi said she was making a comeback, dropped her like a hot potato, telling her that, oh, we don't really have the chemistry. I don't really see it for us. And the next thing Quinn Wen knew,
he was back with Osaka.
She was able to pick up Pear Reba, though, off of Coco's team.
Was good for her.
Which is great for her. But yes, Naomi has split with Wim Fissette and has hired Patrick
Muratoglu.
I can't say that man's name. Pictures of them hitting together at UCLA. They arrived in Asia together for the Beijing Open, which is a level 1,000 tournament. I'm very, very interested to see, because there's some people who don't believe that Patrick had anything to do with Naomi's success when he was her coach. They think that she was just having a resurgence that she was going to have anyway because she had fallen into a lull at the time he joined her team. Did I say Serena? Or did I say Naomi?
Okay, we're talking about Serena, right?
Sorry.
So there's some people who don't think that Patrick had much to do with
Serena's resurgence. They feel like she was going to have that jump out anyway, that she was in a lull, and he like kind of just came in at that time. Apparently, it was a very much collaborative approach, whereas I don't really think that, love Nay to bits, but I haven't really seen problem solving from her in this comeback. She ends up just rushing points, smacking the balls, you know what I mean? And so if it's supposed to be that collaborative vibe, I'm not sure. Muratoglu also has the issue of Simona Halep's doping scandal kind of hanging over his head. This up and down relationship with Holger Rune and how poorly Holger Rune's seasons have been going. I think that he has a lot to prove with this partnership.
It really does.
And I hope it goes well. For Nay's sake. Because I really want to see her back at the top. She's in the top 100 now. I think she's world number 71 or so now. So she's not in a bad space, but I need to see her back in the top 10.
I think Patrick Muratoglu's vibe is exactly what she needs right now. I don't know. I can't explain it, but I just have a feeling that it's going to go well. I think he's going to bring that dog out of Naomi that we've been waiting to see. Yes.
Period.
Then I just think that emotional intelligence is what she needs to kind of like finesse her vibe and get her out of this rut. I don't know
where this emotional intelligence that you keep.
Maybe it's just because he's fine, but like
I don't think he's fine at all. Like,
okay, yeah.
He gives me honestly like no tea, no shade, very like creepy vibes. Like I don't like how he looks actually. Like at all. I don't find
him different tastes.
Yeah, like he seems like, I don't know the word, like oily to me.
He probably is.
Like it's a very greasy vibe.
He definitely is on the oilier side.
Another movement in the player box is Coco Gauff has split with Brad Gilbert. They won 4 titles together since the start of July 2023, and Coco reached a career high of number 2 with him. She went on that crazy run where she won Washington, Cincinnati, and the U.S. Open back-to-back. Mm-hmm. She defended her Auckland title this year, I believe. Or did she win it for the first time? I think she defended it. Semi-final at the Australian Open, semi-final at Roland Garros. But the thing about Brad and Coco's partnership is that I think Brad came in at a perfect time where the work that Per Reba and Jameer Jenkins had been doing were finally starting to come in together. And then Brad came in and it was just like a full...
It clicked.
Exactly. So he gets a lot of credit.
Yeah. And I feel like she hasn't had a bad year, but she's definitely trying to do better than she did last year.
For sure.
So now is the time that she needs to switch it up.
Yeah. People were saying that like she should work with Renee Stubbs. I was like, no. Apparently Nick Kyrgios offered to coach her at the U.S. Open. I was like, Miss Girl, no.
The uncoachable offering to coach.
I'm really interested to see who she teams up with.
I think Kyrgios should go and join Osaka's team if he wants to coach.
I think they're too friendly.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're too friendly.
I love their friendship, though. It seems fun.
Yeah, I love it. Like, I love how she like rides for him, though. She really
rides for him, but then also it looks like he has so much respect for her.
He loves her.
Like he wouldn't play his normal games around Naomi.
Yeah, he likes her a lot. Do you know what's interesting, though? When Per Reba was leaving Coco, the reason that they gave in his statement was like, he doesn't want to travel as much. He has young children. He wants to be able to like... He doesn't have he's not able to commit to like the lifestyle of traveling. Yeah. And then we blinked our eyes a couple of times. And there he was traveling with Queen Bishop. So I think that maybe there was an issue between him and
the bills
Brad Gilbert.
Need to be paid.
No, I think that him and Brad Gilbert weren't seeing eye to eye.
So they just made something up.
I think that dynamic wasn't working. I mean, that's the only thing I can assume was happening.
I mean, Tsitsipas still has not replaced his papa.
Dear old dad. Brad Gilbert is reportedly in talks of potentially working with Alicia Parks, by the way.
I would love that. Not that I think that that's her perfect fit, but I just love that she's hopefully taking some initiative.
Looking for a coach that's not her
Looking
daddy.
for a coach, opening
dad
up
should
her
be her
options.
manager.
Definitely keep dad on the team. That's her comfort zone. That's what's going to keep her sane while on tour. But like,
she needs a coach, a technical
the
coach.
game needs to be improved because she's so talented.
I think somebody who would be a really good coach as well is Andy Roddick. I remember when Coco was practicing with him, I really liked the dynamic that they had. I don't think he's looking to be anybody's coach though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tsitsipas has still not replaced dear old dad. He made joke that he liked Bijan Borg as a coach.
As the coach from Laver
Cup, yeah.
Oh, I love the fucking Laver Cup. Djokovic still has, well, we just don't even know what's going on in his box. It's unclear. To be confirmed.
No, let me tell you, Djokovic won that gold medal and doesn't really care anymore. Did you see the exhibition he played with Grigor in Sofia? First of all, that sold out in 8 minutes.
Second of all, it was hilarious
when they took their shirts off and were dancing. It was a callback to something they've done before. It was very funny. Did you see the umpire's face?
The lady.
She was like, "Ooh, take it off." It was so cute.
I love when tennis is fun.
Yeah, I love exhibition matches. Like, I love them. But Djokovic said that, like, for the first time in his career, he doesn't have any long-term plans. He's living in the moment. He played the exhibition with Grigor. He's going to go to China. He'll play Shanghai. Then he'll do an exhibition tournament in Saudi Arabia. After that, he doesn't know. He said the ATP finals and the rankings are not his goal.
Djoko's a free spirit.
Now, because he has the gold medal. Like, he's completed tennis. He's completed tennis now. His priorities are going to be Grand Slams and playing for Serbia. That's what he said. Speaking of which, his uncle, Srđan Djokovic, is the new president of the Tennis
Federation
Association of Serbia, yeah. So it's interesting. He's now just resting till Shanghai. And I love to see him in this very relaxed, like,
I wonder if the tennis is going to get better as a result.
Because he's going to be fluid and free.
Yeah, like how they just come out and play crazy on the Laver Cup.
So, speaking of Djokovic means that we have to speak of Rafa, who pulled out of the Laver Cup.
At the very last minute.
Was replaced with Dimitrov, though, which I think was a great replacement.
Great.
Yeah.
But of course, people were disappointed because
they paid all that money.
Match, and they paid all this money because they thought they were getting Rafa.
And they probably thought they were going to get to see Carlos and Rafa play doubles.
Yeah. All who missed Olympics got to see it again here. But didn't happen. Sucks. Rafa's having a hard time. He's in that in between, letting go, holding on, injured, trying to play, trying to preserve my body. All these conflicts are pulling him in multiple different directions.
He wants to play tennis.
He wants to play tennis so bad, but I just think it's time for him.
Well.
Yeah. Might not be able to happen because
he wants to play tennis well. I think the style of play that he
is just so rigorous on the body.
Yeah.
Because he wants to play how Carlos is playing now. That's
his style. Like, I can going for every ball.
Yeah, playing. I can slide in the full split.
And it's
I
interesting.
can do the limbo under the ball and still get it over. Like all this crazy shit.
The difference between Carlos' style of play and Yannick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yannick is gonna slap that ball so clean. Like he's no frills.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just gonna drive the ball.
Yep.
Carlos though wants to give you a show. He wants to go around the post. He wants to drop the ball across the net. He wants to get it deep into the pocket. Like
he wants it to have so much spin it bounces back over the net. All kind of crazy shit. Like he's going for those crazy moments every single time,
and he gets them fairly often. Like I think what's happening with Carlos right now is that we're so used to his
crazy level of play
that it's becoming normal to us.
And it's if he has a slightly off day, it's like, oh, Carlos, he's off. He's this.
But I think the early exit at US Open was good for him. I think the time off was very helpful. He looked so refreshed at Davis Cup because, he played for Spain the first day. And he played so freely at Laver Cup as well. I mean, obviously it's an exhibition, but you could. Carlos usually treats exhibitions like they're actual matches. To be fair, and
It's when he gets to shine, because I think aside from being a pro tennis player, wanting the points, wanting to make money, he also just loves this game.
Yeah.
So just being able to play it at the highest level with a crowd hyping him up, I feel like that sets his soul on fire.
Yeah.
Which a lot of the players said, like, this is just good for them as bringing them back to like loving the sport.
Yeah.
Whereas on tour, it can get very tedious, very drawn out. Carlos himself was saying that
they're going to kill them.
They're going to kill them with the schedule. And there's sometimes he just doesn't want to show up for work.
Yeah.
Because it's too much. But
and he said for him, when the motivation is missing, it's hard for him to find his level.
Because he's just one of those players where
he has to love
deeper
it.
than just a professional sport. It's his passion.
He kept shading Juan Carlos like all weekend. Like he hit a drop shot. He was like, yeah, hopefully Juan Carlos is watching so he won't keep making me do those in practice. I'm like, then he was like,
nah, his touch was crazy.
He told he was like, Juan Carlos better not to get too comfortable in his position because Bjorn Borg is doing so well. It was very cute. Like he was obviously having a very, very good time.
Do we have anything on the women's side that allows the women to let loose and go crazy like how the men do?
No. But if you were going to do a Laver Cup for women, who would you put?
So my Laver Cup for women team for Europe would be Swiatek, Sabalenka, Rybakina. Then my captain picks would be Paolini, probably Krejcikova.
Oh, God.
Just because she could, like, switch it up on people. And then I'm throwing in Marta Kostyuk.
Marta Kostyuk!
Straight from number 30, wherever she is. She's in there for the vibes and the looks. On Team World, we're going for Pegula, Coco, Zhang. Then I'm bringing in... Damn, everybody's so European. I'm bringing in Leila Fernandez.
Canada.
Because she be fighting. I'm just noticing how European dominated tennis is. Like, what?
On the
not
women's
many
side.
not many options. And then I'm probably bringing in Danielle Collins. Did I say Haddad Maya? It's between Collins and Haddad Maya. For rest of the world. But it would be so fun just to see them go crazy with, like, no expectations. You're just getting paid to play good tennis and have a good time.
So for me, I think obviously I'd have to do Swiatek, Sabalenka, Rybakina.
For your Europe team.
For my Europe team. I would add Paolini. I would add Schneider.
Okay.
And I would add Svitolina.
Svitolina? Okay.
Yeah.
Fighter.
On the world side, I would have Pegula, Goff, Quinn Wen. I would have to add AT unfortunately. She be hitting. Like, I'm sorry to say.
I thought we were going to pass on
Emma Navarro be hitting, dog. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yo.
But then her and Zhang on the world team. Ooh, that's when it's going to get spicy because they say nobody likes Zhang.
We're going to find out.
We would find out. And these are things that we need to know. We need to know how the girls get on when the cameras are off.
I would add Anisimova.
Okay.
And Osaka.
Ooh.
Big hitters.
Big hitters.
But then I've worried that my team lacks finesse.
It lacks...
It's a lot of big hitters.
It lacks clutch. Like, who's your clutch player?
Maybe I would add the New Zealander, Lulu Sun. Do you remember her? She had the breakout at Wimbledon, which shows a bit of clutchness. Yeah. So that would be me.
And what about your team?
I've done both.
All right.
Who would your team captains be, do you think? Your coaches? For Team World, I think I do Chrissy Everett.
I have to have Patrick Mouratoglou on one of those teams.
You have to pick women because it's the women's Laver Cup. So you need to pick women. I just made up that rule.
Is that a rule?
No, I just made it up. You'd need to pick a woman.
Well, I don't even know the women's coaches. Who's Marta Kostyuk has a women's coach. Who's that?
I don't know her name.
I don't know many women coaches on tour.
They could just be former players though. Like Serena.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Do you get what I mean? Because Bijan Borg and McEnroe are just former players. They're not coaches.
I want to see, what's her name? Not Joaquina, I'm thinking gymnastics.
For my team Europe, Coach, I would pick Sharapova, unfortunately.
That's what I was gonna say.
Too bad. I said it first. And for my team world, I would probably do Chrissy Everett. So all the best to you. Oh, and then my secondary coach for team world, would probably be Renee Stubbs, can't lie. And my secondary coach for team Europe. Where's Kleisters from?
Kim Kleisters. She's on European. So my team world coach would be Danielle Collins.
Yeah, Belgian. I do Kleisters. Oh my God, no!
Collins is my team world coach.
You should do Kerber
Angelique Kerber for Europe
as the secondary coach, not the main coach, the secondary one.
Okay.
Yeah.
My main coach for Europe would be Sharapova as well, and then who would I add to my world coaching team? Probably
maybe Venus.
Shut up!
I read your mind. Yeah.
I was thinking Serena, but then
Venus.
Too much.
Yeah.
She's a mogul now. She don't got time. Venus.
Yeah.
Danielle would bring that like spunk. Like she would say the crazy things on the sidelines that I
like
think would get. Yeah.
Did you see McEnroe in the press conference? They were like, "How are you? Like, what memories are you gonna tell your grandkids?" He was like, "I can't think about that right now. I just lost, and I have to sit here and talk to you." I was like, "Oh my God!"
No, the Laver Cup was vibes, man.
It was so
just,
good. It was so.
They were
good.
just able to speak freely and like really
so
be the tennis players and coaches
so
that
good.
they really want to be.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
So that's that. Iga Swiatek is now 7th in all-time weeks at number 1.
She passed Barty. She passed Barty.
But somehow
she also,
it's not as exciting.
It's really not. We need to break down why.
It's not that exciting.
Yeah. There's just something missing for me with Swiatek. I don't know.
I mean, the world is waiting for Sabalenka to be number 1 because they're like, marketing-wise,
she needs to be.
She has that personality where she's
so fun.
She's so fun.
So fun.
She brings like different facets to the game because she's very multifaceted, which I think
she's been introducing the drop shot and the slice into her game a lot recently, and it's not just like boom boom boom.
But I mean, even as like just being a top 10 player, but also like focusing on fashion, always on a nice vacation somewhere, always wearing a cute dress.
this new relationship she's in got her acting different. She's like a brand ambassador for his brand. Did you see that?
Is that
he owns something? It's called like Oak something.
Is it the t-shirts that they've been wearing?
Oak. It's like some acai bowl company.
I thought it was an energy drink. Or is that somebody else?
I don't know, but it's like an acai bowl spot. They have like different branches in New York and stuff. It's called Oak something. Oh. Oak something. And she's like all over their page.
Well,
locked in. I said, I know that's right. I know that's right. Like, I was obsessed with that. But yeah, in some networthy news, Hong Kong 250 from the 7th to 15th of October on the WTA side, Li Na is the new tournament director. How cool. I love when former players get involved in like the tournaments at that level. People obviously think that Maresma is doing a terrible job with the Roland Garros, but we'll let her have it. It's not easy. It's not
easy at all.
It's not easy. But let's hope Li Na does a good job. Doubles trouble. The only thing I have to say is I don't know what they were smoking when they put Steph and Casper together. I don't know what sort of pairing that was.
No vibes.
Both of them completely lacking in confidence.
Yeah,
not
both of them
doing
very,
well.
like, they
hardcourt not being their surface.
It was weird.
It wasn't the best.
And so said, so done. They lost.
Yeah. Any deuce debates this week?
Well, there was a funny comment because they asked Ben Shelton, who played all 3 of his doubles matches for Team World, and he brought home 2 of the 3. They were like, what would you change about the Laver Cup format? And he said, well, maybe we should have some actual doubles players on the teams. Like, that would make sense. And it's so true. Like, they're only pulling from the single side.
I think that's what makes it fun, though.
Because but then why have a doubles?
But then the team becomes bloated. Because it's fun to see singles players play doubles.
But then it's not the highest level of doubles, is what he's saying. That's the only improvement he would make. Is like, if we want to see the highest level of doubles, you got to bring a doubles player in here.
He's a doubles player, is he not?
He's not really a doubles player.
He's a doubles player.
He plays doubles, but there are players who are specialized in
Matt
doubles.
Ebden and like those.
Like that, the Indian guy who's like...
Rajiv Ram.
Yes.
Or Bopana. Which one?
Bopana.
Oh.
Like one of those guys who knows, like they play a faster game. It's in their DNA.
I feel like people want to see the players that they want to see. I think
get
ultimately
that.
it's an exhibition match. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't think anybody's shelling out big bucks to see Bopana. No offense to him. I think he's fantastic. But like, if you're looking at it from a marketing standpoint, which it is a marketing exercise, you know, I think people want to, that's why the ATP has that new rule where they reserve X number of slots in the doubles draw for singles players to enter the draw. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people want to see the singles players they love play doubles. Yeah.
I just would agree that to have one like leading doubles player on each side would make the doubles of the Laver Cup more interesting.
Team World had Shelton, who is a doubles. I think Shelton is a doubles player. Kokkinakis is a doubles player as well, but he was an alternate. So I think that doesn't really count. On Team Europe, no, there wasn't really a doubles player, to be fair. I mean, there was Medvedev, who is the best doubles player in the world. So...
He's like, he doesn't even understand why there's so many people on the court when it's doubles time.
Let's talk about what's next on tour.
As you said, the girlies are just scrambling for the last few points. They have 2 WTA 1000s on the Asian swing.
The Asian swing is swinging.
It's going to determine who's going to make the end of year finals. Yeah. Locked in already for that are Iga Swiatek and Arina Sabalenka.
Yeah, they've qualified.
The last few months of the year, they can kind of chill out, even though they're still playing some tournaments.
I think they're battling out for a year at number one.
Number one, right? Because I think Sabalenka does have the chance to overtake her.
If she wins Beijing, I think she's in very good position to do so.
Yeah, and then...
I didn't realize that Beijing was 1,000 level on the women's side, but 500 on the men's.
On the men's.
Yeah. But it's still a pretty strong draw for the men's as well. I think it'll be interesting. Then we have Tokyo, which I believe Ben Shelton is the defending champion.
I believe so. He won that, and that's what his dad also won back in the day.
That was like his first,
which was cute, yeah,
title. And then there's the Rolex Shanghai Masters for the men. ATP
Listen,
1000.
I don't know what it is, but anytime there's a Rolex Masters,
it feels a bit swanky.
It
feels a bit swanky.
Rolex Masters, I'm with it. Porsche Masters, I'm with it. It just brings a vibe to the game because then it's now well designed. The court is cute.
Yeah.
Everybody should take notes. All the brands that are sponsoring the tournaments, take notes on how Porsche and
Did
Rolex
you even
get
see?
it done.
We keep talking about Laver Cup, but in the championship room, Moet down like.
Moet down. They filled the whole
Moet
Laver
loves
Cup
tennis. Yeah. No, Moet
with
loves
champagne,
tennis.
And then Rude was drinking the whole thing. It was giving college vibes.
And then, oh my God, Medvedev was like, Tsitsipas doesn't have any. It was very cute. It was so cute. It was so cute. I think they were like spraying everyone.
Because why is Tsitsipas sitting in the corner with no champagne?
And Medvedev was like, Tsitsipas is left out. It was actually very cute. I was like, oh, look at you guys.
The team
overcoming.
vibes are top.
That's what Bijan Borg said. They won with the spirit of friendship.
They absolutely did.
But yeah, Wuhan Open. And also, obviously, we said the Hong Kong Open is happening as well. But the Wuhan Open is the other WTA 1000 level tournament. Did you see that they had Naomi at the China Open draw ceremony, the Beijing draw ceremony? She was like there, like on stage with all the officials. I was like, this girl be in her Asian bag. Like the Asian swing is for her. She's
so paid out there.
Like the Asian swing is for her. That's full stop. Speaking of Asian swing, like random thing, did you know that there, for the first time, are like 3 or 4 Chinese men in the top 100? And there was the first all Chinese ATP level semifinal recently with Xing Zhang and I can't pronounce his name, but he's a Mongolian and he has one long name. It's like, no, Bu Young Choetkete, but he goes by Bert.
Okay, Bert.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We can do that.
But he goes by Bert. He lost today in the semifinal against Xing Zhang, or Triple Z as they call him. But he had a really good run. Yeah. It was the first all-Chinese semifinal on the ATP level.
Is Mongolian the same as Hmong, which is where Suni Lee is from? Or not?
Is it northern China?
No, it's not. It's completely different. It's Hmong.
Okay.
So not Mongolian. It's not related. But I love that tennis is like expanding in Asia and becoming more of a thing.
Yeah, and they have some really good players. And I mean, such a big market, I think.
Massive.
It's fantastic for the sport. But yeah, anything else?
I think that's Game Set Chat.
Game Set Chat, baby.